Viewers, the clock is ticking to the much anticipated meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump at the White House. The world watches with bated breath. This is not just another diplomatic engagement, viewers. It is a defining moment for Indo-US ties, a partnership that has the potential to shape the geopolitical and economic landscape of the 21st century. Set against the backdrop of global uncertainties, trade tensions, immigration debates and shifting alliances, this meeting is a test of leadership, vision and the enduring bond between two of the world's largest democracies. Let's go straight to our colleague, Senior Executive Editor Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, who's joining us live from outside the White House. Madhav, good morning. Thank you for joining us. In just a few hours from now, Prime Minister Modi will be with Donald Trump.
Well, yes, that is, of course, expected to take place. In fact, before I get down to the actual schedule, Pranesh, let me just indicate to you and show you where we're at. We're at the Lafayette Park, which is right outside the White House. You can see behind me, this is the White House. Of course, there's some scaffolding for some construction work that's going on over there. But right behind that, about 200 meters from where I'm standing, is the White House. And this is, of course, on my right side. On my left, this red structure that you see, that is Blair House. That is where the Prime Minister currently is. And that's where you have seen those images of the tricolor fluttering, because it's a centuries-old sort of guest house where visiting heads of state, heads of government have actually stayed in, and that's where the Prime Minister is currently staying in, and not at a private hotel as we've seen many times in the past. So very, very important that even though this is not a state visit, it's an official visit, that's where the Prime Minister currently has. So the actual journey that the Prime Minister will have to traverse when he goes to the White House will be one of just a few hundred meters that you can see. There are, of course, expected to be one-on-one meetings between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. There is also going to be delegation level talks. All of that will be followed by a dinner by President Trump for Prime Minister Modi later this evening. But it's down to business as far as this morning is concerned. We have seen yesterday evening Tulsi Gabbard, who was just confirmed as the Director of National Intelligence, and in fact just hours after her confirmation from the House, she met with Prime Minister Modi. We are seeing today the US NSA in fact meeting, and that meeting scheduled to take place in just a few minutes from now. There will also be a meeting with Elon Musk, who's the CEO of Tesla, and Tesla as well as, of course, we've seen how the Starlink is something that has run into some amount of regulatory hurdles as far as India is concerned. Whether those issues come up in this meeting or not remain to be seen. And last but not the least will be Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, an entrepreneur who has played such an important role in the politics of the United States.
Well, Madhav, thanks for that quick input. We will keep coming back to you, of course, as we build up to the Modi-Trump meeting inside the White House. Thanks indeed for joining us. Viewers, let's open this up. Salvatore Babones, American sociologist, joins the panel. But Sanju Verma, the opposition is not too pleased with the optics of the meeting. First they said, look, Modi wasn't invited. Now that Modi is going, they are saying this is, a business meeting. Trump wants to sell arms.
Pranesh, first and foremost, let's get one thing very clear. On the floor of the Parliament, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has categorically said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi or anyone from his cabinet never solicited an invite to Trump's swearing in. And S. Jaishankar has clearly said that his trip to the United States of America in December 2024 was to meet with the then US Secretary of State and the incoming NSA. So I think once the External Affairs Minister has spoken, there's no room for any more debate. Point number one. Point number two, let's get this very, very clear. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is only the fourth head of state after Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, King Abdullah of Jordan, and the President of Japan. He's only the fourth head of state to be visiting the United States on the invite of Trump as a special guest, merely within few weeks of Trump taking charge. Point number three, of course, H-1B visas will be discussed, but for those crying wolf, let's get this very clear. Every year, almost 65,000 H-1B visas are issued, and an additional 20,000 visas are issued to people who have a master's or a higher education degree from the United States of America. So in effect, 85,000 visas, which was never the case under Congress. You barely had 20 or 30,000 visas being
Right, so
issued.
you're saying
So let the Congress not
this
try
visit is not just optics but also high on substance. Vivek Srivastava, why is the opposition ridiculing this visit of Prime Minister Modi?
हाँ, because of many reasons. Number one, Trump एक imperialist आदमी है. He's an imperialist. He has no business to be deciding Gaza में क्या होगा, यूक्रेन में क्या होगा. It is the United Nations and our Prime Minister, our Mr. S. Jaishankar, हम लोग जा करके दंडवत प्रणाम कर रहे हैं. Vivek Ramaswamy is a big dalal who has sold this country and the people. Chain और handcuff करके वहां से लोगों को यहाँ भेजा गया है. Shame on this so-called Trump-Modi friendship. आप dignity नहीं रख पाए अपने nationals की. चाहे वो इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स हो या लीगल इमिग्रेंट्स हो, एक ह्यूमन डिग्निटी होती है. बचा पाए मोदी साहब? कोलंबिया जैसे छोटे से देश ने वापस कर दिया प्लेन और बोला हमारा प्लेन जाएगा, हमारे नागरिकों को इज्जत के साथ लेकर के आएगा. दिस इज व्हाट इट इज एंड द फ्यूचर इज नॉट अमेरिका एंड इंडियन फ्रेंडशिप. द फ्यूचर इज रशिया, द फ्यूचर इज चाइना, द फ्यूचर इज ईरान. इस एक्सिस के साथ नहीं है हिंदुस्तान. यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू
Say what's on your mind. बोल दीजिए सर. The future is China. Who is Trump to decide what happens between? No.
भाई भाई, हिंदी चीनी भाई भाई.
अब आप बोल रहे थे कि शेम ऑन ट्रम्प.
आई एम वेरी क्लियर. हिंदी रूसी भाई भाई, हिंदी चीनी भाई भाई.
अभी मैं आपको कुछ और स्लोगन बोलूंगा, बोलने आप नहीं बोलेंगे.
मेरे देश के लोगों को हैंडकफ करके भेजा. आप वहां जाकर के प्रणाम करने जा रहे हैं. आपने इशू नहीं रेज किया मोदी साहब ने.
ये जो आपके देश के लोग हैं सर,
है ना, बेचने जा रहे हो देश को.
ये आपके एक मिनट विवेक श्रीवास्तव, व्हाई डू यू ऑलवेज स्टैंड विद पीपल हु ब्रोकन द लॉ और पीपल who are on the wrong side of the law? Vivek Srivastava, 1 minute. आपने तो सर 1 minute. Vivek Srivastava, 1 minute, sir. People who are watching this broadcast haven't forgotten your strident defense of Basha.
Yes.
आपको शायद याद नहीं होगा, आपने बादशाह को भी डिफेंड कर लिया था. बादशाह टेररिस्ट है. China can interfere in Pakistan.
No.
China can fund a country which promotes terror.
को डंडे मार के हैंडकफ करके.
टाइम्स नाउ ये कह रहा है, मैं बता रहा हूं टाइम्स नाउ क्या कर रहा है. विवेक श्रीवास्तव, लेट मी डू द टॉकिंग सर. 1 मिनट. मैं बोल रहा हूं टाइम्स नाउ क्या कह रहा है. टाइम्स नाउ ये कह रहा है जो रूल ऑफ लॉ है वो सुप्रीम है. अगर रूल ऑफ लॉ है हथकड़ी लगाना तो हथकड़ी लगेगी. रूल ऑफ लॉ है टू कॉल आउट फेक्टरी, वी विल कॉल आउट फेक्टरी. विवेक श्रीवास्तव, एज मच एजिटेटेड.
अपने नागरिकों को लेकर आया.
नागरिक क्या गए कैसे थे?
कोलंबिया से बदतर है हिंदुस्तान आज. मोदी राज में हम कोलंबिया से बदतर हैं. विवेक रामास्वामी जैसे दलालों को जस्टिफाई मत करो.
विवेक श्रीवास्तव, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल विवेक श्रीवास्तव, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सर, भाषा पे संयम रखिए. भाषा पे तो आप नहीं रख पाए. एटलीस्ट माइंड योर लैंग्वेज सर. यूर ऑन नेशनल टेलीविजन, प्लीज. ये आप दलाल वलाल बोल रहे हैं लोगों को. दलाल
चाहिए इनके बजाय कहने से पहले रखा था भाषा पे संयम.
मैंने क्या कह दिया?
रखा था आपने?
क्या कहा था मैंने?
नहीं रखा था ना आपने, तो मुझे मत बोलिए. मैं ऐसे ही बोलता हूं.
हर्षवर्धन जी ये ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. हर्षवर्धन जी क्या कहेंगे आप इनसे?
नहीं, विवेक जी को बस इतना कहूंगा, ठीक है, ये किसी के लिए दलाल कहना, कुछ कहना भी अगर विवेक जी के लिए कोई कह देगा तो ये बड़ा ठीक नहीं होगा. विवेक रामास्वामी वहां इंडियन ओरिजिन के अमेरिकन हैं और वहां वो बहुत सम्मानित व्यक्ति हैं. वो अपना काम कर रहे हैं. वो कहीं और किसी देश की वकालत नहीं करते हैं. और अभी विवेक जी के लिए बड़ी मुश्किल होने वाली, क्योंकि कल डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की जो पुतिन के साथ बातचीत हुई है, ये नया जियो पॉलिटिकल वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर क्रिएट हो रहा है, जिसके बारे में शायद अभी अंदाजा नहीं है. जो माइनस चाइना है, जो दुनिया के पूरे अभी तक इसको हम जिस तरह से देख रहे थे वो शायद थोड़ा अलग है. और इक्विलिब्रियम के तौर पर भारत वहां दिख रहा है, उस भूमिका में जा रहा है. जहां तक कोई अगर किसी जगह पर अवैध घुसपैठ कर रहा है तो बहुत क्लियर है, मैं पहले भी ये बात कह चुका हूं, जो चोरी से बेईमानी से घुसपैठ करके किसी देश में जाता है, उस देश का अधिकार है कि ऐसे इलीगल इमिग्रेंट को तुरंत निकाल कर बाहर करे. मेरा ये मानना है कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार को भी ये साहस दिखाना चाहिए. हर घुसपैठिए,
बिल्कुल,
चाहे वो बांग्लादेशी हो, रोहिंग्या हो, कोई और हो, उसको तुरंत निकाल कर बाहर करना चाहिए. लेकिन हमें फोकस करना चाहिए मोदी ट्रंप की मीटिंग पर. जो हम देखने जा रहे हैं, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, सेमीकंडक्टर फैसिलिटी, टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर, डिफेंस डील्स, इसके बड़े ऐलान हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं. हम एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि किस तरह से जो आप डोनाल्ड ट्रंप आए, चाइना,
जी।
मेक्सिको और कनाडा, उस पर उन्होंने टैरिफ इंपोज कर दिया। लेकिन अभी भी भारत उससे बाहर है। इसके दो मायने हैं। एक तो ये कि वो चाहते हैं कि भारत के साथ उनकी बार्गेनिंग पावर, उनके रिश्ते बेहतर रहे, और दूसरी जो ज्यादा बड़ी बात है कि हम जिस तरह से अमेरिका के साथ ट्रेड पार्टनर के तौर पर ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका में आ रहे हैं, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल में आ रहे हैं, वो ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण।
That's right.
और ऐसे
Viewers,
में विवेक जी जैसे लोग जब इस तरह की बात,
let's just say it what it is. Tariffs are nothing but a negotiating tool. Countries around the world have been using it. It's just that President Trump talks about it with greater frequency. Kamruzaman ji, within 30 days of him taking over as the president, Modi has been invited. He is only the fourth world leader to be meeting him in the White House. इसमें भी आप खुश नहीं हैं?
No, absolutely not. You are getting me wrong, Pranesh. First and foremost, he has been invited as the Prime Minister of India, the largest population in the world, which controls a lot of business, a very much a self-sustaining economy since Narasimha Rao's days. Till today, we are emerging as the economic superpower in the world based on the foundation laid by the Congress Party. But most importantly, Pranesh, you must understand, Trump is no doubt the President of the United States, but all of us know that how unpredictable he is and how he is being ruled or he is being advised by corporates like Elon Musk who have got vested interest. So it's going to be whether Elon Musk and Trump combine together to hold hands with India or punish India for various other reasons. So it's a wait and watch till we come to a conclusion whether Modi's visit to America is going to help us in the long run, or let us wait for 2-3 hours when Trump has announced more tariffs.
Okay, Karan, what do you make of this meeting?
Can I make a point?
Yes.
So, Pranesh, at the outset, let's understand we have two phenomenons we've never witnessed in the history. Donald Trump, hugely successful, a disruptionist, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the first PM to be elected thrice in 62 years. So when these two are going to meet, there's a lot more in common. We can discuss tariffs and H-1B visas, but the fact is what they have in common is rule of law. They are both pro-market. They are both anti-deep state. They are looking out for their nations. So there is a lot more in common, and I believe that in Narendra Modi right now, we have a seasoned leader to deal with the disruptive Donald Trump, and that is precisely we need. He is able to assert when he has to assert. You remember how we bought oil from Russia? He is able to buy drones from US, buy oil from Russia. So here is a man who knows when to assert, when to drop the guard a little. So we have someone who deals with an iron fist in a velvet glove. This should be a historic meeting. And for people like Vivek Srivastava, inka left meltdown chal raha hai bahut time se. 3rd November se Vivek Srivastava has not slept peacefully. ये हिंदी चीनी भाई भाई करना चाह रहे थे. ये जो इनकी foundation थी which Kamruzaman talked of, thank God we are away from that हिंदी चीनी भाई भाई foundation. We are looking at a new world order,
Karan,
and this is the start
Karan,
of it.
as unpredictable, as Donald Trump can be, Vivek Srivastava is just as predictable. वो मीटिंग से पहले ही उन्होंने सब कुछ जो स्क्रिप्ट तैयार की थी कि मीटिंग के बाद बोलूंगा, वो बोल दिया कि ये फेल हो गया, कुछ नहीं है. ये अब ये सबको पता है. व्यूअर्स कैन सेकंड गेस विवेक श्रीवास्तव क्या बोलेंगे, लेकिन देखिए वो स्पिरिट देखिए, इतनी बड़ी मुस्कान है उनके चेहरे पे. मिस्टर बाबूनेस, I am sure you are enjoying the conversation. Let me ask you this. We've seen the bonhomie between the two leaders. How much of, this personal chemistry comes into the play when a meeting like this takes place?
Look, Narendra Modi is clearly a highly professional individual. Donald Trump a little less so. I think that we can probably surmise that for Donald Trump, personal relationships matter to a much larger extent than for most other leaders. That said, the personal relationship during Trump's first term was very strong between Narendra Modi and Donald Trump. There's no reason to expect that that won't continue. Now, the relationship between the United States and India is not based on the personal relationship, but the fact that these two leaders do seem to get along very well certainly can't harm the budding relationship. And when I stress that this relationship is so important, I really mean it. The news coverage inevitably focuses on very minor issues in the U.S.-India relationship, whether it's trade barriers on agricultural products or the number of Harley-Davidson motorcycles that are made in India. These are truly trivial matters in the larger framework of the U.S.-India relationship. And I think this is a relationship that we're going to see over the next 4 years will set the agenda for the free world.
I said that in the beginning. Let's see how this unfolds. Sanju Verma, you have 30 seconds to answer Vivek Srivastava, and he will have the last word.
Yeah, but I don't want him to heckle me, Pranesh, because this is a sensible debate. We don't want people behaving like goons and thugs on your show. Thank you. Let's get one thing very clear. In addition to what the other panelists have said, one thing which needs to be highlighted here is that India and US are, very, very important for each other. US is India's largest trading partner. US is the third largest investor in India in terms of FDI and FII flows. But one thing which very many people don't know is that we had a trade deficit with the United States to the tune of $46 billion last year. But this year, we are actually going to have a trade surplus of more than $36 billion. So the terms of trade are comparative advantage India, not comparative disadvantage India. Point number one. Point number two, each time Vivek Srivastava says, अरे भारतीयों को चेन लगाकर बंदी बनाकर प्लेन में घुसाया गया, I will say this without playing on the back foot. If you have flouted the rule book, you will be treated as a criminal.
Rules are rules, period. Vivek Srivastava, let me ask you a quick question, sir. No, let me ask you a quick question. Masood Azhar was a terrorist?
कोई rule book नहीं है.
Masood Azhar was a terrorist?
अरे ये मसूद अजहर एंड ऑल दैट एंड कसाब डोंट गो ऑन टू ऑल में सीधी सी बात है
सर ये देखिए विवेक श्रीवास्तव यू कैन अब्यूज विवेक रामास्वामी बट यू स्टॉप पीपल फ्रॉम टॉकिंग अबाउट टेररिस्ट You expose yourself every evening, Vivek Srivastava. China, by the way, backed Masood Azhar at the United Nations. That is what China does. Vivek Srivastava, thoda, sir, please, thoda maryada to rakhiye, please. All right, viewers, we've run out of time. As we build up to the Modi-Trump meeting, please stay on Times Now.